Good morning. Thank you, Charlotte.
You're welcome.
If everyone wants to take a seat, just to give you an idea, we've been doing hearings on Zoom. When we do them in person, this is not the normal setup in the room, but we're doing this to make it easy for everybody to see each other. This arbitration is a three-way arbitration. We have one complainant, who is Sam Morris, and then we have two respondents, Carla Cass and Sue Smith. Carla, raise your hand, is the listing broker. Sue Smith is the other respondent, the other cooperating broker. So we have the complainant, who is a cooperating broker, filed against the listing broker and another cooperating broker. And I want you to be aware that there was an offer of compensation made through the listing broker to the respondent. So I think I've set the stage at this point, and we're going to let them take over. Thank you.
Please turn off all recording devices at this time. Long Island Board of Realtors, State of New York. Does anyone here have any objection to anyone's attendance at this hearing, whether it be the chair, counsel, panelist, or anyone accompanying the complainant or respondent? I will call on each person, and I do need to hear verbal yeses or nos. Just a head shake is not acceptable. Complainant, yes or no?
No.
Respondent 1?
No objection.
Respondent 2?
No objection.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I now call this hearing to order. The Professional Standards Committee is charged with holding appropriate hearings for the Long Island Board of Realtors in accordance with the procedures as set forth in the board's bylaws. The Professional Standards Committee is a body duly constituted under the authority of the bylaws of the Long Island Board of Realtors and has been duly appointed by the board president and approved by the board of directors. The body meeting here is an impartial panel of the Professional Standards Committee that will render a decision on the testimony and evidence presented at this proceeding. The particular matter to be considered by this panel at this time is an arbitration proceeding. At this time, I would like to introduce members of this panel. My name is Melissa Gomez, and I will serve as chairperson for this panel. The other members of this panel are Ellen Haynes, William Cherno, and Susan Helsinger. Present at this hearing is the complainant, Sam Morris, Morris Realty. Also present at this hearing are the respondents. Respondents Sue Smith with Shore Realty and Carla Cass with Flagship Realty. Also present at this hearing is Terrell Lowe, Professional Standards Coordinator for the Long Island Board of Realtors, and Board Counsel Patrick Five. The parties are specifically advised that any recording or transcription that may be made of these proceedings can only be used for the purpose of an appeal, and any other use, including use in other ethics or arbitration hearings, is expressly prohibited. This hearing has been established to consider the complaint of Sam Morris, Morris Realty, versus Sue Smith, Shore Realty, and Carla Cass, Flagship Realty. This hearing is to arbitrate dispute arising out of the real estate business in accordance with the request of Sam Morris, Morris Realty, that he be awarded $37,500 commission or part of the commission on the sale of 10 Ocean Drive, Anytown, New York, 22222. Please remember, any numbers that are being discussed here today are purely for the purposes of this case. It is performative. It does not indicate that there is anything that's supposed to be any which way. I would like for both the complainant and the respondent to know that all members of the hearing panel have reviewed all information that's been provided to us prior to this hearing here today. Any prior offers of settlement or proposed resolutions of the case will not be considered by the hearing panel. This panel is not governed by the technical rules of evidence which may apply in courts. This panel will seek to determine all ascertainable and relevant facts pertaining to the matter under consideration to arrive at a peer judgment and decision by the panel that is fair to all the parties. The panel is governed and directed by the bylaws of the Long Island Board of Realtors and the Code of Ethics of the National Association of Realtors. The LIBOR has adopted procedures for the conduct of this hearing, which is designed to accomplish equity and provide due process. The hearing shall be conducted as follows. All parties or the representatives to these proceedings will be allowed a full opportunity to be heard on matters relevant to the issues. The chair may rule at any time during this hearing on the relevance of testimony being given or questions being directed to any party or his or her representative, or to witnesses providing testimony. The chair shall rule on the admissibility of documentary or physical evidence. All parties and witnesses will be asked to swear or affirm the testimony given is the truth to the best of their knowledge. The members of this panel are authorized individually to ask questions as they deem pertinent and significant at any time during this hearing. If deemed necessary, I may consult with the members of the panel and with board counsel concerning rulings on evidentiary or procedural matters. At this time, I request that all persons present who expect to testify at this hearing make appropriate affirmation. I ask that the complainant and the respondents please raise their right hand. And following the questions I will pose, answer in the affirmative. If you do so, affirm. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I'm going to start with Sam?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Sue? And Carla?
Yes.
Thank you. Do you affirm, let the record show that all parties have answered in the affirmative. Do you affirm that, please keep your right hand raised, thank you. Do you affirm that you are alone in a private location where this proceeding will not be heard by others? Sam?
I do.
Thank you. Carla? Carla?
Yes.
Thank you. And Sue?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll let the record reflect that all parties have answered in the affirmative. Please keep your right hand raised. Do you affirm you are not recording this proceeding? Sam?
I do.
Thank you. Carla?
Yes.
And Sue?
Yes.
Thank you. Let the record reflect that all parties have answered in the affirmative. You can lower your right hand at this time. Both the complainant and the respondent were emailed a copy of the outline of procedure for an arbitration hearing. Did the complainant, Sam Morris, with Morris Realty, receive the outline?
I did.
Thank you. Did the respondents, Sue Smith with Shore Realty and Carla Katz with Flagship Realty, receive the respondents?
Yes.
Thank you. Let the record show that both the complainants and the complainant and the respondents have stated that they did receive the outline. Did either of you have questions regarding the outline of procedure? Sam?
No questions.
Thank you. Sue?
No question.
Carla?
No question.
Thank you. Let the record show that neither the complainant nor the respondent have any questions concerning the outline of procedure for an ethics hearing. What I want to make sure, like I said, we have read all material. I'd like to explain how the hearing goes. So first, the complainant will have the opportunity to present their case. After the complainant presents their case, then the respondents will have the opportunity to ask questions of the complainant. Then the panel members will ask questions of the complainant as well. Once that finishes, then the respondents, you will have your opportunity to present your case. You can present it whichever way you would like. And then the complainant will have an opportunity to ask questions of the respondents. Then the panel members will have their opportunity to ask questions. After both sides have presented their cases, then you will be able to present a closing statement. Both the complainant and the respondents, or all three, will be able to present their closing statements. Any question about the procedure?
No.
Okay. So the complainant will now state his case and present any evidence or witnesses that he may desire. You may begin.
This is,
Can you hear him okay?
No.
This
I'm
is-
closer to you.
this is about my having shown property to Alice. She was a prior client of mine. That's how she came to me a second time. She signed a non-exclusive buyer representation agreement with me. The agreement called for 2.5% broker compensation. So after showing her some property, after 3 months of working with her, on July 9th, 2025, I found the right property for her. It was at 10 Ocean Drive. It was listed for $1.5 million. So I reached out to the listing broker and I asked them, is there any compensation for a buyer's broker? They said yes. It was 2.5%. So I showed Alice the property, negotiated an offer which was acceptable to the seller. It was full price, had a home inspection, and once we had the home inspection, the atmosphere changed a bit, actually quite a bit. And I couldn't understand it because over a relatively minor plumbing issue, it was becoming a deal breaker. And it did. As far as I knew, she was going to buy that house and ask me to find her another property. So you can imagine my surprise when on July 27th, I contacted her and she said, oh, well, I've got good news for you. I went to contract on the house. And I went, well, how could that be? Why would you do that with another broker after I worked for you so much? Well, what she told me made it even worse. She said that the mortgage broker that she'd been working with told her she could save 0.25% off the mortgage interest rate if Alice wrote the offer through Sue, the mortgage broker's cousin. So she explained that it wasn't anything I did, nothing against me, but it was just that offer of 0.25% over time amounted to a lot of money on a $500,000 loan. So she told me she found a way to get rid of the first offer with me using the plumbing issue as an excuse. So I learned from her that she went to contract July 27th for the same price and the same contingencies that I negotiated on her behalf previously. So I'm asking that for the work I did, that I be fairly compensated since I was the victim of Alice being unfairly influenced by this, what amounts to, in my opinion, a bribe. And that's what I have to say about that.
Thank you. The respondents, you now have an opportunity to ask questions. It could be whichever person.
Yes, I have a question.
Please speak into the mic.
What, and your,
You have to get the mic closer.
sorry, and your narrative that you submitted to the grievance committee, you also indicated that you worked with Alice and were sending her additional documentation, but you didn't physically get in touch with her until September 2nd.
Is there a question in this?
Yes, there is. What, if anything, did you ever contact Alice again? Since you did not find her anything, did she want to revisit that property during that time?
Well, yes, I was consistently sending her information on the properties that might be of interest to her.
Okay, what about this property specifically?
What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give him a mic, just so that you guys each have a mic, and then we can hear each of you guys well better.
What do you mean by this property specifically? What's the question?
Well, your negotiations died on July 13th, and you contacted her physically, other than mailing her stuff, on September 2nd. Did you ever revisit that property with her again, since you had not been able to find anything?
No, I didn't revisit that property with her because she had told me falsely, as we know, that she was not going to buy that property.
In your testimony, you also mentioned that it was a minor plumbing issue, as opposed to your narrative says it was a major plumbing issue.
I said it was a relatively minor plumbing issue.
Thank you. No further questions.
I have a couple of questions. Mr. Morrow, you said you had a non-exclusive buyer broker agreement. Did your agreement indicate a type of properties and geographic locations that you were going to be her agent for?
Yes, it did.
But in your request to the grievance committee, it doesn't state anything like that.
It doesn't, we didn't submit a copy of that agreement. How are you determining that?
I'm just asking you, did you have, when you signed agreement, did you have types of properties indicated that the agreement was just for that property, or was it for, what was the agreement? I'm not asking
No,
to see your agreement, I'm asking
it
to see.
wasn't limited. It was not limited to a single property.
Was the agreement signed by the buyer?
Yes.
Was it 2.5% compensation equal, agreed to by the buyer as well?
Yes.
So if the compensation was not included in the deal, was she willing then to pay the 2.5%?
Well, yes, she indicated she preferred not to, but would if necessary, if the seller of the house she chose was unwilling to or unable to.
Also, was there a time frame on your agreement?
Yes.
And also, did you list all the properties and document all of the properties that you had shown her?
No.
The other question is, you said that she was coerced into, let me rephrase that. You said that the property, that the mortgage broker, more or less hijacked her to go with him because of the difference in the, what she would save. Do you know that for a fact?
This is what my former client told me. I have no reason to doubt her.
That's it.
Thank you.
I
Now,
have a question.
oh, sure.
Did you by any chance visit or have a conversation with the mortgage broker to confirm what she said? What Alice said?
No, I did not.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Thank you. So now the panel members will have an opportunity to ask questions of the complainant. Ellen, do you have any questions?
Thank you. I do. Mr. Morris, when you provided the non-exclusive agreement to Alice, did you explain to her in detail exactly what she was executing with you?
Yes, I did.
And were there any questions that came up regarding compensation?
We briefly discussed the possibility of a seller not being willing to pay the buyer's brokerage fee out of the sales price, and she indicated that naturally she would like me to do my best to persuade them to do so, but if was unable to, she would pay the fee regardless.
How often do you work with buyers using a non-exclusive agreement?
Hold on. Sorry, I don't have a microphone. We cannot ask questions that have to do with any general policies or company policies or office policies. It must be transaction specific. So that question is not going to be able to be asked and answered. So if you are the chair, you would shut it down. If you're a panel member, try not to ask those questions.
I think for right now, I'm good. Thank you.
Bill, do you have any questions?
Yes, I have a few. You stated that it was a non-exclusive agreement, but have not told us the term of that agreement. What was the term of that agreement? For how long?
It was for 1 year.
Okay, thank you. You stated that you first spoke to her in April, and you finally took her to a property in July. What was going on between that time?
Well, she had some things that were eating away at her time, and when she had the time to work with me, I worked with her. That was at the client's request, the delays.
Okay, when this transaction failed on July 13th, when was the next time you were in contact with her? And what were you doing during that time period?
Well, I was offering properties to her almost immediately after that failed, and continuously, but she was not responding. And so when I finally did connect with her, that was when I was told about the circumstances of her going to contract on the property that I had originally shown her and negotiated on and gotten an acceptance on her first offer on that property.
And pursuant to your complaint, that was on September 2nd? September 2nd?
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
Okay. Who brought in the mortgage loan officer?
I don't know how she came in contact with the loan officer.
Okay, that's the last of my questions.
Thank you. Susan, do you have any questions?
I'm just curious to know how you seem to know about the mortgage. Who gave you this information?
My former client, Alice,
After it closed?
yes.
No further questions?
Somebody like-
I do have a few questions. When you said that after the transaction, the negotiations died on July 13th, you offered properties. How did you offer properties to the client?
I emailed them to her.
Did you have any text or phone conversations during that period of time?
No, she wasn't responding. I guess she was reluctant to tell me what she had done.
Okay. Between July, so you said that on July 27th was when she told you that she wanted to contract on the same house, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you follow up with the listing agent after that point?
No.
Why not?
Well, I felt that she wasn't truthful or forthcoming previously, and I had no expectation of that changing. So I decided to seek compensation in this manner and seek the righting of a wrong in this venue, rather than arguing with someone who may or may not have been cooperative with me.
Did you have any discussions with the client regarding the non-exclusive agreement that she signed?
Well, just to the extent where she explained to me that she had in fact purchased the house that I had negotiated her offer successfully on, and that she had done so after having been enticed to do so by the mortgage broker, the agent she bought it from, and they were cousins.
Did you explain or reiterate to her about your agreement with her?
We briefly touched on that. She was apologetic, but I explained that her position was it was a business decision and she had to do what was best for us.
All right, no further questions. At this time, the respondents will now state their case and present any evidence or witnesses as they may desire. You can begin, whoever would like to begin first, you can start that. What we may want to do is, depending how you might want to start it, I may break it up that he may ask questions of one respondent before we go on to the next respondent so that it doesn't get confused.
Okay. Do you mind if I go first? I was the listing. I was the listing broker for 10 Ocean Drive, and I am asking or making no complaint to the cooperative compensation for clearing cause of the sale. My position as a listing broker is that it doesn't matter to me who determined the procuring cause. I'm just happy we were able to sell this property so quickly and for such a great price. The seller is thrilled that they got a full asking price. I confirm that 2.5% was the offer of cooperating compensation that my company offered to the brokerage that was the procuring cause of this property. The 2.5% cooperating compensation was $37,500, and it was paid to Shore Realty because Sue Smith brought in the successful offer. It does not matter to me which of the two cooperating brokers is awarded the compensation. But please understand that the only monies my company received were for the listing side of the sale. If you determine that Morris Realty is the procuring cause, you need to get the money back from Shore Realty to pay Morris Realty. Since I'm not making any claim to the cooperating broker's portion of the compensation, why should I have to submit an arbitration filing fee as requested by staff. That does not seem fair that I have to come out of pocket for monies I'm not making a claim to. I will be happy to attend any hearing on this matter, and I'm not sure how much help I can be on site that I can provide. This is really an issue between Sam and Sue. And I'm looking for my fighting feet back.
She's a listing agent. Okay, so is it okay if at this time, usually I might have a sidebar on this, by the way. Is it okay if I proceed with just to respondent one and then we go on to respondent two? Okay, thank you. So the complainant, do you have any questions for listing agent respondent one, Carla Cass, Flagship Realty?
I have no questions for the listing agent.
Okay. We'll start over here. Susan, do you have any questions for the listing agent, Carla Cass? Phil?
No, no questions.
Ellen?
No.
I do have a couple of questions. Did you review the paperwork when it was submitted to you, the offer from well, first let's start. Did you review the offer that was submitted to you by Sam Morris with Morris Realty?
I did,
Did you review the offer paper that was submitted to you by Sue Smith with Shore Realty?
I did,
Did you recognize that it was the same names?
yes.
Did you go back and have a conversation with Sam Morris to let him know that the buyer has submitted an offer with another agent?
I did not.
Okay. And were there any differences with regards to the negotiation of this transaction?
Well, there was the issue about the plumbing, which is why the first transaction didn't go through, because the seller was selling it as is and did not want to make any repairs. The first transaction did not, the negotiations failed, and in the second transaction, they accepted to go through with it.
Did Sue show the property?
Yes, she did.
Did the buyer do a home inspection after getting their offer accepted?
No, they declined.
They declined. And did they request anything regarding the plumbing?
They did not.
Thank you. No further questions on my end. Now the second respondent, Sue Smith, Shore Realty. Oh, yes.
Just before we go, do you want to see if Ms. Smith has any questions for
Oh, okay.
the
Respondent.
for Ms. Cass?
Okay. Sue, do you have any questions for Carla Cass?
Just one question. Did you just stated that you saw both offers. Did you feel, go ahead, louder voice. Did you feel that since you paid our company that we were the procuring cause?
It's not for me to determine that. I don't know. It's not for me to determine if whether you are the procuring cause or not, but you're the one who did the successful transaction. And there was no mention of the plumbing issue that was presented before, and you had no inspection.
Do panel members, do any of you have any questions before I proceed with respondents to the case? Yes?
Will I have time to ask questions of the complainant again?
No? Yes? Okay, then we have to reopen it up all over again. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, you have a question of the complainant?
I do.
Okay.
Just speak into the microphone.
It says here that you stated in your statement that you sent us that you continue to search for properties that would suit her needs. I stayed in constant contact with Alice over the next month, sending her information and several other properties. What do you mean by constant contact?
We should respond to the emails.
Only emails, nothing else?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the panel members? Okay, one for respondent one? Yes.
Carla, did you disclose to Sue that there was an offer prior or about the plumbing issues? Did you disclose that?
No, I did not. I didn't ask for anything. There's no inspection, so I didn't disclose anything. Thank you.
I do have one last question. Aside from the plumbing issues, are there any differences with regards to the terms, whether it be price, down payment, financing contingency, or anything else?
No.
Thank you. Now at this time, respondent 2, you have the opportunity to present your case and any evidence or witnesses that you may desire.
Thank you. I have known, my name is Sue Smith. I have known the buyer for quite some time. And I've sold her several properties, and we live in a small town. And that is the reason why she does not sign exclusive representation. She doesn't want to alienate anyone from the town. She will work with me, and I sold quite a few commercial properties. She did give me a call and said that now she was looking for a personal residence. And I did some research. I found this, excuse me, I found this property, and she did sign a non-exclusive like she does with every other broker in town. So I wasn't expecting her to sign an exclusive to me personally. So we looked at I've asked her, I did ask her though, did she sign with anyone else? She said she did sign a couple of exclusives with other realtors. She never mentioned Mr. Morris or any of the other realtors by name. And so I said, okay. I said, I sent her the property, I figured this 10 Ocean was something that might fit her needs. And so I asked her, did she see this property? She said no. And I said, did you see it with another broker? She said no. I've known this woman for a long time. I wasn't going to give her a lie detector test to say that she was, lying that she didn't see it. I'm going on her reputation. She is very well known in our community, and so I just went with what we were going for. We went in the property. She liked it. She put a full price offer in on it. There was no inspection. And the reason why she said no inspection, she did not want to lose the property because she thought the property was a hot commodity that she did not want to lose. And she thought that we have several other properties that I've sold her. I guess the fear of loss was greater. So we went through the contract. We went through we went to contract, and she signed the contract, and no time during this whole transaction ever mentioned Mr. Morris, and the only dealings I ever had about the property were with the listing agent caller. Let me just see. Excuse me 1 minute. The Alice the buyer was there. After showing the property or stating that Alice the buyer was, I've never heard from any other broker that Alice was their client. And after showing her the property, I feel that I've earned my commission, and I don't feel that it should be given, that I should be penalized for doing. I showed the property, I got the property to contract into closing, and if Mr. Morris has a problem, the problem is not with myself, the selling agent, or with the listing broker. The problem is with his buyer. He has an agreement. The buyer violated the contract. So it's just like a listing. When you sign a listing, if the homeowner sells it on his own, he still owes you a commission. So if this buyer went, since he's had a contract with her for a year, and I really can't see that she would even sign a contract for a year, because she works with too many people. She would never tie herself up a year with one person. So I think the commission, when who owes him the 37.5 is not either myself or the listing broker, but his client, who was the one who should have, because in according to a non-exclusive agreement, she violated, and it states right here, the broker fee is due and payable when passes to the buyer during the terms of the agreement, unless buyer violates the terms of this agreement, in which case the broker fee is due from the buyer. So I feel there's no merit to his asking for either one of us to compensate him for something that he should be going after the right person, who is Alice Gavire. Thank you.
Thank you. Carla, do you have any questions of Sue?
Yes, I do. You had made an appointment for the property to show it to Alice without prior knowledge that she had already seen it. Did she at any time show familiarity with the property?
No, she said she never saw it.
That's it, thank you.
At this time, the complainant, do you have any questions of respondent two?
Yes. Sue, are you familiar with the mortgage broker who handled this transaction?
Am I familiar with it?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that mortgage broker your cousin?
I don't see the relevancy in this.
Just, it's a yes or no question.
And I'm telling you, I'm not answering it.
Why would you refuse to answer a
I
simple
refuse to
question?
answer it because you have no documentation that anything was transpired illegally, and that's what you were insinuating, and I'm not going to be part of it.
I'm not insinuating that it would be illegal for you to be the mortgage broker's cousin. Is he your cousin, as was stated by the client, or is he not?
You have not presented any documentation to say that, this was my cousin. It is my cousin, but your documentation.
Okay, thank you. All you have to do is say yes. My next question. Did your cousin offer a 0.25% off the interest rate as an incentive for Alice to do business with you instead of me?
Again, I do not go into other people's business. Whatever my cousin or your alleged cousin has offered as a compensation, that's up between him and his client. Between me and my client, I was to show a house, got the house in contract, and that's my extent of my involvement with Alice.
You have stated that Alice is a woman of high repute. She has told me that your cousin offered a 0.25% interest rate reduction as an incentive for Alice to buy a house from you. Is that correct?
It's asked and answered. You're not going to get the answer that you're looking for from her. She's already asked and answered.
Thank you.
Or she's already answered your question.
Okay. So, last question. Did the fact that this property had been negotiated on before, with exact terms, price, and contingency, come to light to you at any time?
Is that a question?
Yes.
Can you repeat it?
Did you become aware at any time that the exact same price and contingencies had been previously negotiated on this property for the same client?
I stated before, I was never aware that the client, Alice, saw this property. She said she never saw it. I took her into the property. I just answered that question with the respondent, and I said, I don't know if she saw it. I don't know if she negotiated it. She just said, I want this property. I want this property. She offered full price, no contingency except a mortgage contingency.
Thank you.
At this time, the panel members will have an opportunity to ask questions of respondent two. Ellen?
Sue? Okay. Question, did you recommend the mortgage broker to Alice?
No.
She came with her pre-approval when you were, I guess, presenting the offer?
She had no pre-approval when we showed the property.
But then she got the pre-approval so you could present it along with the offer?
I never presented it with the offer.
You just presented the
I
offer?
just presented the offer. The offer was accepted, And she said she had proof of funds, and that was it.
Okay. And the non-exclusive agreement that you had with her, Sue, was it property specific or area specific?
It was, I believe, a 10-mile radius of, or it was a radius, I'm not sure the amount, a radius of where she lived in town. Because she had the car wash in town, she has a few businesses, and she wanted to be accessible right away to the town.
Okay. Did you introduce her and show her other properties besides this subject property?
Yes,
And did she offer on any of the other ones?
no,
So in your estimation of all the properties you showed her, this was the only one that she presented an offer on?
it's the only one that she was, that she thought would be to her needs.
I'm sorry, what was that?
That'd be the only one that she felt was beneficial to her needs.
Okay. And whose thought was it to waive the home inspection?
But it was hers. She just said, I want no contingency except a mortgage contingency. I had no prior knowledge that she had an inspection, because I had no prior knowledge that she ever saw this property before. It was never, ever mentioned.
And were you aware before that maybe there had been an offer already on the property when you initially requested the appointment to show it?
From
The listing broker, I'm sorry.
Carla.
From Carla.
did I ever ask Carla, was there an offer on it?
Yes.
No, I think if there was an offer, when I made the appointment, Carla would have probably said something, there's offers on the property, they have the client, if she's interested, come in, you know, even make an offer and something. So Carla was never mentioned there was.
So
an
you
offer.
never had that conversation with Carla?
No, never.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
finished.
Bill?
Thank you. How long was your non-exclusive buyer broker agreement
3
for?
months.
Okay, when did Alice first contact you?
In July, middle of July.
Okay,
I could read it to you.
and when did you actually go into contract? When did you submit the offer and go into contract?
I think it was the 27th or something like that.
Okay, so within a few days. Well, from your response, it says that you looked at the property on the 25th, and on the 26th, you made your offer. Is that correct?
I'm reading it right now, yes it is.
I'm just going based on what you submitted.
Yeah, no problem.
And you went into contract that afternoon and closed August 30th. Is that all correct? What's in your complaint is the correct information.
We closed August 30th, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Susan?
Did Mr. Morris ever,
Is it up or
It's on.
did Mr. Morris ever contact you?
No,
When you submitted the paperwork for the offer, what documentation did you provide?
excuse me,
Which documentation did you provide when you submitted the offer?
just the binder.
Just the binder? No proof of funds or pre-approval? And when the buyer waived the home inspection, did you recommend for her to get a home inspection?
As I said before, she's done it on several other properties when she felt that she would need one. So I, you know, if I thought it was the property needing an inspection, I probably would have recommended it. But she's a person of her own, whatever she wants to do, that's what she does. And the inspection, she said she was waiving that. The only thing she wasn't waiving was a mortgage contingency.
But you did not submit a pre-approval with the offer, correct?
No.
So how would the listing agent know any information regarding the lender?
I have no idea.
Okay. So then I'm going to have a question now for respondent one, Carla. How did you know who the lender, the mortgage scenario on this deal?
Eventually, Carlos sent it to me directly.
You are
I mean,
Carla.
I'm sorry, Alice sent it to me directly.
The client herself sent it to you directly?
Yes.
At what point did the client send over her pre-approval to you directly?
The same day that the offer was submitted, they went to contract that same afternoon.
What other documentation did she provide to you?
Just a pre-approval.
Did you let Sue know that the buyer contacted you directly with the pre-approval?
I left her a message, but the contract was already signed by that time when she received it.
Okay. When you started negotiations between the offer received from Sue and your client, did you ask for anything regarding finances at that point?
I did, but I didn't get it because she submitted it the day before and then Alice sent it the next day.
And I just want to clarify, when did she send the pre-approval?
The morning after, when the offer was accepted. Because when it was accepted, she signed contract that same afternoon,
So it was before or after the actual acceptance?
after the acceptance.
So how were you sure that she was even pre-approved if there was still a mortgage contingency?
So she said it was coming, it was contingent upon receiving the pre-approval.
The offer acceptance was
Yes.
contingent upon receiving the pre-approval.
Correct.
Did you let Sue know that?
No.
So how did the buyer know that?
Well, I had requested it of Sue and then the buyer sent it.
Okay. I'm gonna go between the two of you on this one. So Sue, my question then is for you. Did Carla go back to you and let you know that she was looking for the pre-approval when the offer was accepted initially?
No, she didn't, but the Alice had said to me that I found out that Alice was using the mortgage broker, and that Alice said to me that she was going to send it to her privately.
Oh, so you were okay with the client contacting the listing agent
Yeah,
directly?
because she doesn't let her finances out to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. She's very private, she owns a lot of businesses, and so when something is approved, she then sends the proof of funds, which then she told me that she was using the mortgage company, which Mr. Morris states that it was a road to get it to do it. It was after the fact that she told us that she was using my cousin as the mortgage broker for financing.
Carla, respondent one, did the offer provided to you by the complainant have a pre-approval included with it?
Yes.
Did you use that pre-approval as knowledge that this buyer was able to get financing?
No, because I had already, closed that page with that.
Okay, was it the same pre-approval or was it a different
A
pre-approval?
different one, it was differently dated.
Okay, any further questions? Okay. At this time, both the complainant and the respondent will be given an opportunity to make a summary or closing statement if they so desire. The complainant's closing statement will be heard first. Mr. Morris, please present your closing statement. This is a great opportunity to surmise why you think you should be the prevailing party.
Well, at the heart of why I think I should be awarded this is that I, in good faith, negotiated a transaction successfully. And it was only when a third party interceded with the financial enticement to complete the transaction with another agent because of their family relationship that my transaction failed. Well, it actually didn't fail, it succeeded with the wrong agent being paid. So I can call your attention to the fact that the respondent is extremely reluctant to admit that this was a cousin, even though in her response to the complaint, she says it was her cousin. Here, I had to drag it out of her that it's her cousin. There's something that's fishy here, and the fish doesn't taste good. This is one issue that you should look at. So why duplicity? And then further, why would Alice, as the respondent says, a person of high repute, lie to me? Now, which is what the respondent would have you believe. But here's what the respondent, of what the client said. She said the only reason she went with the other agent was because of her cousin, the mortgage broker, enticing her with a 0.25% lower interest rate. And that was a business decision. The client actually apologized to me because she knew it was wrong. But regardless of being wrong, the money meant more than doing the right thing. So now here's a chance for the right thing to be done. Thank you.
At this time, the respondent one will be able to make your own closing statement. Ms. Kress?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't have too much further to say. I'm just interested in getting my filing feedback. I have no claim on this transaction or on this commission whatsoever. And any discrepancies or meeting of the mind, I went through it, a transaction that closed. Anything could have happened in between, could have been abandonment, could have been anything else, but that's it.
Thank you. And Ms. Smith, you may present your closing statement.
Yes. First of all, I take offense that Mr. Morris is calling something that I did underhanded or that I refused because fish smells. It's a normal transaction. I was told after the fact that it was my cousin when she sent the mortgage qualification to Carla. Okay, that's the one thing. Second of all, he said he was in contact with this buyer, and then, but on September 2nd, he called her to show another property. We're going from July to September 2nd. Okay? Again, and then another thing that he stated is that, and I think the question was asked, that he never contacted the mortgage broker. He never knew what the original rate was or what the rate would be reduced by the 25% that he alleges was done. And that's an allegation. He alleges, and he has assumed everything except the correct scenario, which his client, Alice, is the one who owes him the money. And so, again, first of all, I want to thank everybody for being here. Again, I want to state he needs to go after his client, Alice, for the 2.5%. He did sign a contract with her. He did explain to her that about her paying him commission, which is owed to him because she violated his agreement with her. And again, that's paragraph 2 of the non-exclusive states. So I don't feel that I did anything wrong. I don't feel that I was shady in not answering his question about my cousin. It had nothing to do with who she got finances from. It's just something that he wants to build a case against that he has no case to even go after. And I think at the end of the day, our commission, my company's commission was earned, and I think he is one who's going fishing for a commission he did not earn. He may have, and he said he was in constant contact. His own statement says he didn't talk to her until September 2nd, or even talk to her. Everything is text or email. So he doesn't even know anything about the client and any scenario that happened. I think that's all I have to say, and I hope you find that we were not in any way deceitful, and that the commission that we earned stays with our company. Thank you.
Thank you. Have each of you had an adequate opportunity to testify, present evidence and witnesses, and conduct a cross-examination? Sam?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Thank you. Let the record show that both the complainant, or all of the complainant and the respondents have indicated that they have had an adequate opportunity to testify, present evidence and witnesses, and conduct a cross-examination. Before we adjourn the hearing of this panel, all persons present are advised that the award of this panel is considered confidential. It will be available only to members of this panel, to the parties, to counsel, and staff as required or as otherwise specified in the Code of Ethics and Arbitration Manual. Upon final action by the hearing panel in an arbitration proceeding, the decision, when signed by the members of the hearing panel, or majority of them, shall be served upon the parties to the dispute. The parties will be notified of the decision within the required time after your hearing is adjourned. You are reminded that any recording or transcription that may be made of these proceedings can only be used for the purpose of procedural review, and any other use, including use in other ethics or arbitration hearings, is expressly prohibited. Before we adjourn the hearing of this panel, we would like to give both parties 15 minutes to discuss any settlement or resolution of their dispute that they would like to consider prior to the hearing panel entering executive session. The parties will be provided a private space to meet and discuss any resolution. If settlement is reached, the parties will execute an agreement and the ethics process will be terminated. If settlement is not reached, the panel will reconvene in executive session and determine its ruling. Would you like this 15-minute opportunity?
No.
I would, but if they don't want to, they don't want to.
Okay. There being no further business to be considered in this hearing, this portion of the hearing stands adjourned. Thank you all for being here today.